I'm Natalie Richards, and I wrote 6 Months Later, which came out in 2013, and then I also wrote Gone Too Far, which came out in January of 2015. My next book is My Secret to Tell, and that comes out this fall. 6 Months Later is about a girl who falls asleep in study hall, and she wakes up 6 months later and cannot remember anything that happened in this 6-month period. So she goes to sleep in the spring, she wakes up and it's snowing, and she has no idea what happened. She is suddenly with a guy that she's always wanted to be with. Her grades are greatly improved. She has this kind of miracle life, but something feels very wrong, and she's starting to realize that there's a reason she forgot, and it wasn't an accident. I think that we have, as a society, grown more and more towards, I want more, I have to own more, I have to be better. High school seniors aren't happy with a 3.9. You know, I would have been thrilled with that, but high school seniors aren't happy with that now. They need a 4.0, and they need extracurriculars, and they need a resume to take to college. I'm like, these are 17-year-old kids, or none of us slackers anymore. So I wanted to deal with a girl that is more typical, that isn't driven out of her mind at 17 and is just still sorting her way out. And I wanted to kind of tackle that myth of perfection. Why are we pushing ourselves so hard? I think that I kind of apply to the Ernest Hemingway school of don't create caricatures, create characters. And I think they really have to have a lot of depth and flaws. And when you meet someone for the first time, you know this much. And every time you talk to them and get to know them, you're going to learn a little bit more. Those layers, I don't think, should come out on page one. I think they should grow with your characters, but they have to be there. You know, everyone's an onion. There's something else underneath, and if there's not, there's a problem. It's something I actually explored even more in my next book, Gone Too Far. I really tackled that. What you see is not what you get with people most of the time. There's more to that story. So that's one of my favorite parts about being a writer, is looking into those layers of different characters. I often have to go back in a book and rewrite the first 3 chapters, because once I know a character, I'm like, well, that's all wrong. She'd never say that. So I always have to go back. Most of my books, I can't really plot out. If I get into too much detail with outlining, I get lost and I'm not interested. And if I'm not interested, you can feel it on the page because it's no longer suspenseful. I'm not trying to figure anything out, so therefore it's hard for me to convey that to anyone else. Like, no one else is feeling tense because I'm not. So I do tend to leave a lot of mysteries in my book that I'm figuring out along the way, so that I'm excited to find out what I'm writing next and to find out what happens. That said, I'll admit, I do lean more towards trying to structure a little bit, because boy, oh boy, have I written myself into some bad corners. So a little structure is nice. Sometimes writers call themselves plotters, those are the outliners, or pantsters, those are people that fly into the mist, as Stephen King says. I'm a plantster. I'm somewhere in the middle now. Any writer that sits and says this is the way you write a book is wrong, because I think we all find our own process that works. And in addition to that, I would argue that every book has its own process, and it'll kind of find you as you go along.